You know what it is, Hip Hop Mike, live from my crib, mid-quarantine. I thought I was stressed out, but I don't have a bunch of customers waiting for merch. A distro guy, I guess, that's getting raided mid-quarantine, and a lot of girls to keep entertained, let's be honest, on the gram. My man, the CEO, creator, everything from Ryder Studios. How you say, Jebidiyah Ryder in here?
Yeah, it's Jebidiyah Ryder.
What's happening, man?
Just living, trying to survive, trying to not have corona.
I feel that. I appreciate you taking the time. I know you've been going crazy trying to get these orders to the people. Everybody's hype about it.
I'm trying my damn best. I swear to God.
What has this been like, man? The drop came right before quarantine.
Yeah, so it's been like a hate-love thing with like hate-love like relationship with the drop, because I was lucky enough to drop, start production and everything, and then like have money to be able to like, because a lot of my friends and family, like, they didn't have much to, like, they were scared about the quarantine, but I was lucky enough to be able to send out like thousands of dollars just to everybody, just to make sure they're straight, can be able to stay home. Like, people with like kind of essential jobs, I was like, I don't care about none of that. You're not leaving your crib. Send them some money. I was like, just stay locked in. Let me know if you need anything. But like production wise, yeah, I thought I was gonna be good on it, but yeah, we definitely had some delays. But it's not too much. It should just be like a couple weeks.
Nah, it's all good. I mean, bro, the pieces that you make are incredible, and I know people would wait months, let alone weeks for them. So, I mean, I'm sure everybody's excited to get their orders. What I'm gonna need is you to walk me through this, because as a fan of yours, I've been keeping up since day one, and I mean, the quarantine, day one of this release, I should say. Well, let's start from the release. Maybe we'll take it back in a bit, but release day happens, sell out right away. I know shit went quick.
Yeah, I cried when I saw it. It topped my last drop within the first 10 minutes.
Insane.
And like I cried when I saw it.
was crazy. Crying out of excitement that people
yeah, the joy, of course, just because like I never thought I would be here. Like, I was really homeless like a couple years ago.
See, you're more humble than me. I would have cried watching that bank account and that PayPal hit, because
no, that's what it was. It was like a total sales. Like, I made sure, like, once I dropped, I turned my phone off or on do not disturb mode. I waited 10 minutes just so I could be like, all right, this is what I made first 10 minutes of the drop. And then when I checked that, I was like, I was crying. Like, that shit was crazy.
Well, next thing I know, we see the announcement, everybody's quarantined, they're like, stay in the house, and you pop up in Miami with a couple of girls in the most luxurious place I've ever seen. What happens between drop day and quarantine?
That had nothing to do with drop day at all. So when I was with all those girls, when I was in Savannah, it was like right before shit really hit the fan. We were supposed to go to St. Patrick's Day out there. So we're out there. They shut down the parade, but like they didn't shut anything else down, just the parade or whatever. So everybody, the bars are still packed, shit's still lit. And we come back to Atlanta, and I was with my best friend, and she had to go pick up her son in Miami. Okay. So we're like, all right, fly down a couple days in the sun, come back, fly down there. Bro, I was jugging hand sanitizer from like the checkout desk, or what's it called, the desk at the airport. I was making my way through it, not catching nothing. And so we get there, and we're like, all right, we're going to slide back after 3 days. I packed for 3 days. And you just keep getting crazier and crazier. So we're like, all right, we'll wait a week, and then we'll slide back. And then she just keep getting crazier and crazier. So like another week, and then we're just like, fuck it. I guess we're here.
So what was going through your mind at the time? Were you like nervous about anything happening? At that point, like you hadn't heard about these orders getting jammed up or anything?
Yeah. That took about 3 weeks in. Shit was like, well, shit in the U.S. was still going crazy. Pakistan, especially the area where my facility is, they had no cases.
Oh, wow. So you're producing where it was
no cases. They're working, and they shut down. But like I said, they had no cases, so they weren't really strict. Okay. Him and like all the homies were just locked into the factory. Like he was feeding them, like he was doing some real shit. He was feeding them and whatnot. And then he texts me. He's like, yeah, everything's still on like pace to go out. And he's like, yo, they raided me this morning. I'm like, what? He's like, but apparently he made some calls. Like, he been bribing cops. I don't know if I should be saying all this, but ain't nobody know his name. But he was supposed to be locked out for a year. They tried throwing him in jail. It was like a crazy fine. But then he made some calls, and now it's like it's back to cool.
some crazy
Yeah,
Pakistani.
it was a crazy story, but end of the story, shit's coming out just a little bit slower.
All right, so now we got to take them back. I asked people on the gram. I was like, you got questions for them, and a lot of them had the same questions as me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's bring it to the beginning. How did this all start? Like, what made you get into clothes and kind of take things from the Carolinas worldwide?
Well, the first person to really reach out to me, like, I was never really interested kind of in designing clothes. Like, I went to college before I dropped out for industrial design.
Okay.
But when I was in, I was just kind of like obsessed with the fact of making something that will like leave an impact. So I was doing creative direction for my friend's interview show. It was kind of like a mix between Rhapsody of the Basement and like Wayne's World.
Okay. I
But it
love
was
it.
like upcoming rappers. Like it was like a basement setting, and I did all the creative direction for it. And then with that, I got more introduced to people in Atlanta, and so it's just like I would do more graphics for them. But I got tired of doing graphics when I was like, I know I can I can do everything.
Okay.
And then it just kind of like transformed into that. I stopped doing the creative direction. I started doing just clothes. And
What
yeah,
was
that
the
was
first
that.
piece you made? Like when it came to clothes, I mean, go from creative
So when it
direction.
came to making clothes, it was kind of random because when I was in Atlanta, I was sleeping on my friend's couch and I was just making her graphics. She made clothes.
Okay.
And ex-friend, let me put that out there. Did me dirty. But
Stop.
so she was doing clothes, making it at her crib, and I was doing graphics. And then I kind of just used her equipment to make some shit.
Okay.
And then I went to my friend's photo shoot because this when I was modeling. I was a lot of people don't know I was signed to an agency when I first came to Atlanta.
Really?
Yeah. And but then they said I got too many tattoos, and I just didn't give a fuck what they told me. They just didn't like me that much. And so I wanted to go do this modeling shoot with like a lot of the Atlanta people, and I pulled up wearing like some of the shit I made. And they're
Okay.
like, yeah, that shit's hard.
It was
And
like a hoodie, a t-shirt. What was the first
it
piece
was
you were making?
it was some jeans that said cowboy on it. Like I printed with vinyl, like a heat press. This hoodie, it was like a Las Vegas hoodie. Some people might remember it. It said I lost all my fucking money on it. And then I had some other piece, it was just some shirt. But everybody there fucked with it. So I was like, all right, Ben, I'm dropping that shit Sunday. I'm dropping Sunday. And so I posted it. It kind of went up on Twitter.
It's one piece that you were
Yeah,
dropping?
I was like printing on shit I made from Goodwill with vinyl from like my friends. Like I was on a couch, like, and like it sold out first day.
Wow.
And so I was like selling it for my DMs, and then from there, it just kind of like I said, I already had that vision to create something bigger. So it's just like I knew where to start, and I just took like what I had. So I was like printing on literally Goodwill shirts, just like things and shit.
Like to go from a big design school that's like not necessarily designing clothes at all, but like completely different. Like
Yeah.
you said industrial design, right?
Yeah, but I wasn't at a big design school. I was at like a community college called like Midlands.
Okay.
And but that's what I was going for.
And then industrial design isn't like making you happy. You go over to clothes, you just kind of strike luck with this. Like, I mean, you had never thought of starting a brand.
Like I said, like I was kind of just into all like creating. Like when I was doing graphic design, my final goal was to have a design firm. So it's like where I have clients where I can create anything. They need logo, they need furniture design, but there'd be like me designing it, but then I'd have like 20 employees that are like specialists in that, so we could really make the shit happen.
Okay. So
that was that goal. But then I was like literally just doing cover art. So it was not to say there's any goal too big. It was too big for me to focus on that right then.
Well, I mean, you went from a simple hoodie and some like heat press, jeans to there's literally teeth on the sneakers you're putting out now. Like it's kind of crazy to watch it evolve. Was the big moment when we started putting like the devil horns on the hats, or what made it really?
It was for sure. So yeah, it started out. A lot of people think it was just all about the horns, but it started out with the mouth, with the tongue.
Okay.
That was the idea. It was I went to see my nephews who I barely get to see in New York one time, and he comes out with like this very kiddish version. It wasn't like 3D teeth, it was kind of flat teeth, but it had a zipper with a tongue. And he walked up to me, and it's like he hadn't seen me in I don't know how long. He's tiny. I'm like, bro, you were snapping with this fit right now. I'm like, bro, that first one right there. It was like kind of like a kiddie version of it.
Like this joint.
And so I was like, I'm gonna go dramatize dramatize. I said dramatize.
Alright.
Just dramatize it, put the horns on it, and then that's what kind of hit. And then, yeah, the horns just kind of became more of the statement for it than the teeth.
And then next thing you know, things are kind of taking off. Like,
Yeah, it just started. Yeah, it just kind of took off. It was weird. I kind of planned it, not to be like I manifested it, but when I dropped it, I had like 5 pieces just ready to go. Like when I dropped the Devil Monster hoodie, I'd been sitting on it for like at least a month.
At this point,
because I had other pieces that I wanted to build up.
Had you gotten off the couch at this point?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So what was that like? I mean, did you leave Atlanta or you stayed in Atlanta and just got your own situation?
I was on the couch literally as soon as like I graduated high school. I was like, I've been on the streets, like walking, like on the streets, but I was on a couch and then my agent hit me up and was like, yo, free rent if you come and be my live-in assistant for like his agency. And I was like, yo, say less. Like I'm there. I'm on the couch. That's great. So I tried for the longest just to do that and like make money off graphic design, but I was making no money. So I started, I always worked in the kitchen. So I started working as like a chef and doing dishes and whatnot in this kitchen.
So you really grinded from the beginning, man. It's been like a long journey.
Like my days before, like even while I was on the couch, like after I left the agency and I was on the couch, my days consisted of waking up at like 8, working until like 6 p.m., either washing dishes or in the kitchen. Then I'd get home from like 6 p.m. to 10 doing shit for my agent. And then from there, it was either my choice to go to bed, relax, smoke a blunt, or just like work on your shit. And like, if you really want it, you're going to do it. So like, I do like that from like whenever that ended to like 4 a.m. every day.
Where would you say the most growth came from? Like pre-success or post-success?
Damn. Because I've learned so much. I wouldn't even say that it's like success at this point. I feel like it's just coincidence.
Okay.
Because I feel like success is a lot more well planned. Mine's just like I'm trying. Like I don't know what I'm doing. I'm making stuff. Well, but I want to say post because before I started doing clothes, my eyes were everywhere. Like my eyes paid attention to everything, all drops, all designs. From like history, like I watched like a lot of old runway shows a lot. Like I just like learned stuff. Like that's what I like doing about design, from furniture to architecture. So like when I started getting into it, I had more of a knowledge than just someone like making a t-shirt. Even though that's all I was doing, like I said, like I knew what I wanted to eventually do.
I mean, you put your own spin on it too, not for nothing, because even from that first piece of like to do a hoodie that's like Vegas themed that says I lost all my money, like
one of my hardest
it's a mind fuck.
Yeah, one of my hardest things was coming out of doing just the t-shirts and going into those crazy pieces. Because I had this whole thing, like when I started, it was like all cowboy related stuff. I was very, fuck that sentence. I was very inspired by cowboy shit and like cowboy culture. And I was like, bro, I've been doing this for, I don't know, probably a couple months, but I was tired of it already. I was like, I can do so much more than just cowboy shit. And so I guess quickly, that's when I was like, I planned shit out, have a couple pieces so I could slowly transform it from being that brand to being like an experimental brand.
Well, you see pieces that are like this, and I can't help but think, like, are you ever inspired, I guess, by like video games, movies, things like that? Like, what kind of makes this come to life?
No, for sure. Definitely movies. The V2 was really inspired from, that's the V3. It's more of a continuation of the V2. Fuck, what movie was it? It was, the motherfucker from, what the hell's that show? With the lights that flicker, bro. I'm blanking on it.
It's all good.
No, it's like a Stranger Things.
Stranger Things, okay.
Remember the monsters?
Oh, the Demogorgon joints.
Yeah, so that's where the second one kind of came from.
And I mean, you've had celebrities rocking your shit like crazy. I mean,
That's some of the craziest. I don't know, like the way that is now. Like my relationship with a lot of these people. I feel like that's like the still the most shocking stuff.
so how does that come about? Because you can't really have an agenda when it comes to connecting with artists and
It's all about not to toot my own heart. It's about being genuine and just like being yourself. Like you walk in a room and all you're doing is talking about like what they do or like what someone does. Like you're not just making genuine conversation. No one wants to hear that. It's just like be yourself. Be like, yo, you seen that video of that dude where he like takes his dick out at the Wendy's? Like nobody wants to be like, nah, bro, I haven't seen that. Like, just like be yourself. Like nobody wants to hear all that shit.
Yeah,
And so like when I do that, it's a lot easier for me to connect with artists. There's definitely some people where we did not connect at all. And I was just like, once I met them, I was like, yo, I got to get out of this house.
wasn't feeling right.
There's some crazy rappers out there. Like,
if there's somebody that like, and you never have to say who, but if there's somebody specific, right, that maybe you're not a fan of, you don't fuck with, and they want to mess with the gear, are they able to get the gear, or are you only
they order? Oh, I've had so many DMs of so many people being like, yo, I like this, I need this. And they have like an ass of followers and are very famous, but I'd be like, I don't like the way they talking to me or not.
place an order?
So yeah, it's just like, yeah, it also has to do a lot, like even someone I fuck with, they're not talking to me. It's happened to me recently. Someone I've looked up to for a minute, reached out to me trying to get a piece. They were like, they weren't talking right. And so I was just kind of like, I kept it distant. I was still very genuine. Like but they're like trying to hit me with like one word shit. Like they were some big ass, like big boss dude.
And you're like, nah, this is disappointing. Place that order online.
Cause like the people that I post and shit that like I repost wearing my stuff, they fuck with me. Like, oh, they actually do. And that's what it's crazy. Cause it's like, I don't know. I never thought I'd see it.
Well, one guy that we definitely knows fucks with you is this dude right here, young Saji.
Yeah. My friend. Shit we did I never tell.
Because this guy is one of the biggest fashion influencers that I could think of, especially out here in New York, where everyone thinks they're about it. How did you and Saji link up?
Came out some internet shit.
Those shades are fire.
Like another thing to tap in on, when I first started, I dropped some shit on Twitter. I DM'd it to everybody. I thought like I wouldn't, maybe if like they liked it or retweeted it. Fuck it, I literally just sent it to everybody. And so I just kept sending shit to him as well. And then now we're just actually really good friends.
Yeah. Well, I know he travels a lot, and I've seen him rocking the all over the world at this point.
Yeah.
Have you gotten a lot of like attention overseas or like places outside?
Yes. It's crazy getting like. There was one drop I did. It was like half of the orders were from UK.
Okay.
So my shipping price was, I was like, y'all got me fucked up right now. That shit was so high. I was like, it's hard, but it's like, damn.
Yeah, I feel you. You got to figure out how to, get past those like ups and downs. I mean, how many times have you done releases? I feel like it's still pretty early for the brand.
No, it's very early. So like when I started, like I was dropping twice. So this is before I was doing all the crazy shit. I was dropping maybe once a week. Like when I did the Goodwill tees and I was printing on those, I was dropping every week just because that was my money. Like I literally quit my job to do like just that, and I was making no money.
Did you have like a sewing machine or anything like that? So you had bought some stuff.
Machine. I had a vinyl machine, and that was that.
That was it. Just pump it out.
Mm-hmm.
What would you tell people who want to start their own brands or like kind of get into doing what you're doing? Because I feel like step one, be genuine, but step two is also
it's also kind of a bullshit thing to say. Just be yourself, bro. It's just like I don't even want to be that kind of guy, even though it's a fact.
Do you think the success would be where it's at without the struggle, though? Because I think a lot of people have the money to do this.
No, it's literally all I can say is give it your all. Go homeless for it. Get uncomfortable, because you're comfortable, you're not going to be doing nothing. Like I said, when I was dropping every week because that was all the money I had. When I was selling those 101 tees, I was making a couple hundred a week. That was all the money I was making. Luckily, like, it was just off my art. But yeah, it's just like put everything you have into it, like die for it, for real.
So the store is currently closed right now.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there's still some orders that got to come out, but for people that would want to get their hands on some of this, have you seen any like resellers? Are you cool with
Yeah,
people
I should be
coming
going
in?
crazy. 1 second.
All right, now
Resellers, maybe out of
give you
pocket
guys a screen real
sometimes.
quick. Store is shut down, eh?
Yeah, it is.
But how do you feel about resellers? Because I know a lot of people like they make their pieces, they sell it to the people that buy it, and they're
I
not
don't
really
care, to be honest. Like, I'm making my money at the end of the day.
okay.
And obviously, when I first saw it, I was like, oh shit, my shit's on ground. That's so dumb. Like, I saw some sandals being sold for like $800. I sold them for 100. I was like,
Yeah.
now it's kind of just like, I wish a lot of them were more genuine because I see a lot of people just copying the resale.
Yeah. I love that you have that attitude towards it though, that it's like,
At the
hell
same
yeah, this
time,
shit.
it's like, bro, make your bread off of it. Like,
No, but that's dope because there's people that would be bitter. I mean, and be like, I could have sold this, and then their next drop is $800. It's like,
exactly.
are there
Another thing I struggled with working on, like, like I said, once you have the vision and what you want to do, you have to transform it. Like, I started with what I want, but what I want it to be at the end, I have to like slowly transform it because people, like, once people have that perception of you, they want nothing but to keep that perception of you. They want you to be that character.
over and
It's
over?
kind of like George Costanza on Seinfeld. He gets to know their jobs because people just want George.
Yeah,
People
for real.
just want people just want that George character.
When you see some of these bigger brands, some of these bigger companies, are there any of them that I guess A, you look up to or can learn from, or B, would want to
Um,
collaborate with?
Dream collabs and look up are kind of the same thing for me. I look up to Jeremy Scott, of course.
All
One of
right.
my biggest insults and yet compliments was some dude on Twitter, some random dude. He's like, "You're like a fake bland Jeremy Scott," and I was so hurt when I saw it. But I was like, "I think I'm like Jeremy Scott." Damn, like for real. I was like, "Okay, all right, yeah." But
You
Jeremy
Jeremy Scott
Scott,
vibes.
yeah, Jeremy Scott's
Swag,
definitely one.
everything.
Craig Green, Walter Van Berendocken. He does some crazy shit. And I think even more on the normal side, Mark Jacobs.
Okay.
And of course, people like Rick Owens, but we don't really do the same thing. When I look up to like people I look to for like inspiration, I wouldn't really put him on my list. But you talk to my closet, it's a lot different. You'd be like, oh shit, oh Rick Owens.
About that. Are there any like worlds, I guess, because I can see, you've done a lot of shit as far as dropping clothes. Have you ever thought of expanding this to something beyond clothing? Maybe like furniture. I mean,
Yeah,
hats
like
are
I said,
basically art pieces.
keep touching back to the beginning where I was like, as long as you know the vision, you keep moving it. That's what like before, my biggest struggle was taking it from the t-shirts to the conceptual pieces. Right now, I feel like I'm kind of going through something similar because I don't want to be viewed as like a brand owner, like Jebidiyah Ryder, owner of Ryder Studios. So that's why I'm dropping this Lego stuff. Like I'm dropping all these like the champagne bottle covered in Legos with like the spouting cork, shit like that, because I want to branch myself over into being more of a Mark Jacobs, Jeremy Scott identity in the fashion community. Someone who's an artist, someone who's not just Horns, a brand owner. It's
Okay.
another reason I also started Discoteca because I have so many more ideas than just these crazy conceptual ones. Like if I were to run a regular brand, not a regular brand, but like a kind of streetwear, something like that, I could still go crazy. So that's like the vision with Discoteca. I see it more of like a what's the word to use? What do you hand into someone when you have a job?
It's like
Resume. I see it as a resume because I feel like I didn't go to fashion school. I didn't go to fucking Parsons, Scout, and none of that. So it's like if I were to be seen by someone, it's gonna be online. I got to be able to show them I can do this, I can do that, I can
nah,
do this.
I can't wait till you're opening up flagships, bro, honestly, because I feel like the inside of that world would be at a
I
fucking
had so many store deals before this shit hit. Oh shit! I had like 3 stores that were supposed to stock my last drop overseas. Like I wasn't doing no stocking like in the U.S. And just Corona was like, psh, psh, psh.
It's all right, man. It's gonna come back around. I promise you that.
No, for sure. I was like, trying to talk to Lego. We were in the works of doing something. Trying to fuck that up.
Have you ever I mean, one thing with Jeremy Scott, he dresses fucking everybody at some point or another. Have you ever thought of people that you ideally would want to dress for like these award shows or these big events?
Funny enough, to fan out when I was picking clothes, my favorite kind of artists are, where I'd say, were Key and Skepta.
Okay.
And so to have them to like be able to say it now is just like, because I remember when Key wore it, I was like, I weirdly got tight with him too. It's really weird how that shit works. Like when he wore it, I was like fanned out. I was like, oh my god, like now I need a Skepta. And then I remember when someone sent me a picture of Skepta wearing my clothes, I was like,
Crazy.
I don't give a fuck about anybody else. Like,
It's literally the only people that design for Skepta is you and Banksy. So.
Banksy designs for him.
Did you?
Thing is, I never even knew he copped the hat. I never sent him. He bought it. Like, I never knew.
It up. So you got to go through those orders and find the email or the contact and be like,
oh, this is the address?
Thousands
in this giant box.
Well, I don't know if Banksy actually designed for him, but I know that there was a vest that Banksy made, like a bulletproof vest.
I think I remember that.
Crazy, crazy piece, bro. Like, I mean, for Skepta to rock that at Wireless Fest was it was something different for sure. So
He's fired to me.
Working on stores before the quarantine, what can people expect coming out of the quarantine as things get back to normal? Aside from these orders hitting.
Like I said, right now, more just art. Right now, like I figured, like right now, everybody being inside the house, people just being on their phones, is the best time to work on helping myself transition out of that brand owner stage, doing more of an artist, and showing people that like these conceptual ideas I have aren't just like some mass-produced type shit. Something that's just like I don't want to sell it. So I'm using this time to just entertain people with, like teeth on a hat or some shit. Like I'll be drunk or like I'll just be high and I'll be thinking, I'll be like, yo, Legos on a shoe. And like I'll literally do it. Like I'll wake up and I'll just see on my board or I was like, what the hell did I say? It's like Lego shoe.
Lego shoe.
And I'll think about it. I'm like, all right. And then if the idea is good enough, like when I wake up in the morning, I'll order all the stuff. So like I'll order a pair of Forces, some Legos. And that's what happened with the teeth and the, what is it called? The grass shit.
So you never really know. It's just like kind of impulsive of what you're gonna create and then manufacture.
I try to grasp something from everything. Like I kind of look at, like when I was stuck in Miami and I was on that balcony, like I'd just be on the balcony kind of just chilling, like smoking or like working on some stuff. I kept trying to figure out like what I would grab from like this view, because it's like this crazy view that I was seeing. I was like, what can I grab from this? And I couldn't think of nothing. And I was like, I'm looking at his buildings on a shirt, a hoodie. I was like, a shoe, but I was like, I don't know how that would look. And then I thought about the movie Beetlejuice. Remember how he was working on that giant model town upstairs?
Yeah.
His attic.
Is that how that hat came together?
Yeah, and so I was like, a shoe covered in that, like little like scenery and shit going on, like different stuff. Wow. Might be it. And so yeah, I ordered all this stuff and I made it.
So when you
made it, I was just like, nah, I'm finna fuck everybody up. I made that just so people would be like, yo, what am I looking at right now?
Well, that's my next question is like, really, what's the response like? Because you post stuff like that, if you get a reaction, is this now going to be made into multiple pieces, or you order more teeth?
Nah, so yeah, I ordered so many teeth. I had like 1,000 plus.
Oh my God.
I had 1,000 plus teeth, and yeah, it was just crazy. Like when I was working, I just surrounded by teeth.
It's madness.
But yeah, I just kind of ordered that shit off bulk, and it was more of like a piece of, because like you're looking at something so crisp, like a clean Air Force One, but then it's covered in teeth, like something that's really off-putting. It's like two things kind of clashing to me.
What's that hat about? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, this is my homie's hat. You ever seen the ones that have, like the middle finger on it?
Yeah.
He made those. I forgot what it says. It says, "Keep reading, you might learn something, you nosy bastard."
I love it. I mean, listen,
I
I'm
felt like
in.
it felt my redneck energy of today. I had thrown the tank top, the trucker, I was smoking my cigarette, and I got my drink, and I was like, hell yeah, brother.
Bro, not for nothing. You got popping before Joe Exotic, and he stole your whole fucking style. He stole all of
Talking about that, when everybody was commenting on that picture, and I was like, yo, what does it look like I do? My leg was just like, yo, you like Joe Exotic's son. Even, 22, he was like, bro, you look like Tiger King.
it. You are Tiger King.
I was like, bro, he stole my whole fucking flow, bar for bar.
No cap.
Bar for bar.
Oh man, but nah, you're doing way better than Joe Exotic is, which is a blessing. I mean, sipping something
I mean,
delicious.
I'll be honest, all jokes aside, he really does belong in jail. Like, he's a shitty person. He's a shitty person.
He belongs in jail, but they need to let him dress up because
Yeah, like, I'd be definitely down to get a drink with him and just, like, get fucked up and crazy shit. But outside of that, I wouldn't want to do anything with him.
I know if you hang out with Joe Exotic the next day, there's like a tiger.
You know it's going to be hella drugs and hella tigers that night. Like, I'm like, yo, I'm with it. Like, let's go.
Like, I made this hat last night that's real tiger teeth.
That's fucked up, but it's hard. That's kind of hard.
Man, I think that's where we have to call it quits. I got to start my drinking and smoking for the day. I'm starting a late start.
Go ahead, do your thing.
But for the people that are fans, for the people that love what you're doing, man, how can they keep up with you?
My OnlyFans is dropping tomorrow.
Hey, big dick energy.
I'm schmeating my meat across the screen, man.
Jeremy Scott.
Instagram and Twitter, no dick pics. But yeah, Instagram and Twitter, Jebidiyah Ryder.
And chances are he's gonna tag a girl in his story soon that has her own OnlyFans. So if you want to keep up with him,
Trying to become an internet pimp.
Doing well, bro. You're doing well.
Trying to.
All
right, man. You take it easy,
bro. Time, man. You're fucking incredible, and I'm excited to watch this thing evolve because it's been so dope.
Thank you.
Much love, Jebidiyah Ryder, ladies and gentlemen.
Love you, bro. Peace.